So it's great to have you here. This is the first time that we've ever done something like this, where we've invited our rising students over. So you were the class of 2028, and you are starting a brand new tradition. So you set the tone if we do this again. And I think that that's a really, really exciting opportunity. You'll get to meet and learn about the registration process. You'll tour a little bit of the building, not much, but at least get a feel of what is expected and how we're going to welcome you as a class of 2028. So I'm going to ask for a huge favor. I'm going to ask that you put your phones away. I'll give you one more opportunity to make sure that your phones are away.
Earbuds too. Take them out.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm Mrs. Thomas. I'm the principal of Quince Orchard. This is my 6th year here, and I know many of you. Many of you have older siblings here. Please don't raise your hand and ask me if I know this person, this person, this person. Okay, we have 2,200 and some students, so I might not remember them all. And I'm going to do everything we can to answer as many questions as you have to ensure that you have what you need to register. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Lee and Ms. Jackson. They'll get you started, and I'll be back and forth. So welcome to Quince Orchard. We're excited to have you joining us.
Okay, so you guys have 2 parts for today's field trip. The first part, you're going to be in the auditorium. We're going to give you some information again about registration, a little bit about high school and what you're going to experience. And then afterwards, about 30 minutes, we're going to transition and you're going to head to the cafeteria where you're going to meet some teachers, you're going to meet some students, you're going to learn about some of the electives and some of the AP classes here, and that's going to be the cafeteria. The other half of your group, they're going to come into the auditorium. So again, we have 2 sessions here, and I wanted to give you guys, overview of what you're going to expect. Today there's a lot of information, and you probably won't remember every single thing, but that's okay. These slides are going to be shared with you, and there's going to be a link to today's recording. It's being recorded, and that link will be shared with your school so that you have access to it. So you don't have to take notes. Try to just absorb what you can today, but you'll always have access to the slides and the recording afterwards, okay? So my name is Ms. Lee. I'm one of the assistant principals here. This year I'm the 9th grade administrator. I work with students' last names A as in apple to Q as in queen. We have another administrator, Ms. Ashman. She's in charge of the other half of the 9th grade. We have Ms. Jackson here as well, and she's going to introduce herself when it's her turn to speak. And we have Ms. Conter, and she's also going to speak later during this presentation. So today we're going to go over the following things. When you look up, we have introductions. And when our counselors come in, we'll also introduce our counselors as they come in. And then we'll have our signature programs that we're going to talk about, the different programs we offer, information about how we register for classes next year. We have a lot of freshmen in our class right now. They're like, we're not in the right class that we wanted to be in. Well, did you register for the classes? And they're like, I'm not sure. So really it's important to make sure you pay attention so you register for the correct classes. So next year when you're here, you have all the classes that you want. Okay, you're also going to get information about what you need to graduate as the class of 2028. You cannot ask someone who is in the class of 27 or 26 because the requirements change year to year. So you need to make sure that you know what the requirements are for you to graduate, not for the kids who are older than you, for an older sibling, a cousin, or someone that you know. We're also going to give information about credits, about state testing, and about SSL hours, all of those things being graduation requirements. We have some information about athletics, because I know that there are many of you who are very athletically talented and you might be interested in trying out for some sports, and that information is coming. A little bit of information about eligibility if you can try out for those sports. And the last thing we'll talk about is some attendance expectations. Okay, this is a list of our counselors. We have a few of our counselors here right now. Our counselors are actually working with our current 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, getting them registered. So they're going to try to filter in during this session, but one of our counselors, I'm going to introduce her right now.
Hi everybody, I'm Ms. Kamaski, and I have students with the last names H-A through L-E-Z. So if that's you, I will be your counselor next year.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ms. Hardaway, and I will be serving the students that are under the alphabet of P-O-U-R to S-T-R. So if you have those alphabets and you fall under that, or if you fall under that, my name is Ms. Hardaway, and I'll see you.
And then my name is Ms. Conter, and my students don't actually attend in person here at QO. My caseload consists of students in the Virtual Academy and then the early college program over at Montgomery College.
So again, we might have counselors coming in here, but like I mentioned, a lot of them are currently working with our students with registration. So as they're done with their classes, they're going to try to come into the auditorium. My last name is Lee, L-E-E, so my counselor, if I looked up, my last name falls between H-A and L-E-Z, so Ms. Kamaski would be my counselor, right? If my last name was, Brown, B-R-O-W-N, it would fall between B-R-E to D-O-N, and I would have Ms. Jimenez. Again, this information will be shared with you so you can identify who your counselor is, who you might have to reach out to if you have any questions. Okay, so a little bit of history about Quince Orchard. We are 36 years young. Okay, so that's a pretty young school, 36 years. We opened in 1988. Okay, so we've been here for a while. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We are located in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Some like to call it North Potomac, but we are in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Okay, our zip code most likely is 20878. And we have a lot of different programs here. We have a lot of different AP classes, and we hope that you try all these different things while you're here. We have lots of different clubs and extracurricular activities, and if there's a club that you don't find here, you can create a club. We have students all the time who say, well, what about this? Can we try this? I had a student who said, I want to create a club for Happy Feet, which is where they collect sports equipment for students who might need things. We've had a student who say, hey, I want a wellness club, and I want to teach students about how to de-stress, and we're like, okay, let's do it. They find a sponsor. So again, we have lots of different clubs, lots of different activities here at the school. Some goals that we have at Quince Orchard High School. These are the 5 that I highlighted that I thought you might want to see. What are we about? The first thing is we want to make sure that we maintain a great school community. And what does that mean? It means that we have these traditions here that we want to make sure keep going. We also want to make sure that we have a lot of school spirit. And we'll talk a little bit about that during our presentation. We want to be motivated to be academic so that we are in our classes, we are participating, we are engaged. We want to make sure that we have good citizens. We want you to be good humans even when you leave the school building, right? To do the right thing, to be good. And then we also want you to have a proud sense of identity. Figure out who you are while you're here on this journey. Okay? We also work hard to make sure that the curriculum meets the needs of all of our students. And we know that that's a diverse student body, so we want to make sure that all of your contributions are also recognized in the curriculum. We use a variety of different instructional methods. It's not just sitting and receiving instruction. We try to do a lot of group work. There are things where we do with labs. We have theater classes where sometimes you're up on stage. So we try to use a lot of different ways to make sure that you're engaged in the classroom. We also want to make sure that we have a lot of community resources available to you. So if ever there's anything you need, you would let us know, and we try to make sure you get what you need. Sometimes it might not even be in the school building, but we work with a lot of organizations outside of the school that come into this building to make sure that our students get everything that they need. And the last thing is that we want to make sure that we provide you an opportunity so that you can contribute to this community here. Okay? And now I'm going to introduce Ms. Jackson.
Good afternoon. I am Ms. Jackson, as stated before. I am the administrator for grade 10 and A through Q as well. So all of these things, like we said before, you're going to have access to later. So you'll have an opportunity to click on the link so you'll be able to see our booklet that describes all of our programs. Our signature program is the AP signature program. The key for the AP signature program, in the term AP, being that at some point you will be taking an AP course, there will be an AP capstone, AP courses along the way. But the nice thing about it is that there are different programs in every content area that whatever your interest is, you would be able to participate in the AP signature program. If you are interested in these things, these definitely are conversations to have with your counselors to make sure that you have the appropriate courses, because they are course specific as far as what you need to take in order to receive the honor at the end with graduation, where you would have that special recognition. So as you see there, we also have a variety of tech ed through PLTW, art, education, music, communication. Every content area has something that is available for you. Again, you can get a lot more information through the booklet once you have some time to be able to peruse through. There's 5 classes that need to be taken at Quince Orchard High School. The idea behind the signature program is that you're engaged here in the community of Quince Orchard, so having an opportunity to take those classes while you're here in the building is important. I stated before, you need to take at least one AP class, and the GPA requirement is pretty high. You need to pass your classes with at least a B for the semester. And as you know, you have now credits. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but now your 2 quarters are going to contribute to make that semester great. Perhaps you are already taking a high school course right now. You can take a pathway without completing it. So there are, classes in a pathway without completing the pathway. So if you do find an interest within other pathways, feel free to take and register for those classes. But just know that you would want to start now as you're entering 9th grade. You can, if you like. Let's say you are interested in both art and engineering. Feel free to take both of the pathways. Just make sure that you are looking at your 4-year plan, talking to your counselor to make sure that you have the appropriate courses. So this is just a highlight of some of the key things that you will be able to engage in. We have, obviously, the AP courses. Now, you as a freshman are going to be limited in your AP options. It is your first year coming in as a freshman. You can, though, take AP Computer Science Principles, which will qualify for Tech Ed credit. You also have the opportunity for AP NSL, so that's your social science. For social studies, you have to take 3 designated courses, and then you also have to have a Tech Ed credit, so you have 2 opportunities to take AP right now. Other courses, as we said, there's lots of courses. We have an online course bulletin that you're going to learn about later. Also, as you get these materials, you'll be able to look through it to see what are the courses that are available here and what you might be interested in taking. So just here's also some examples of visual art. One of the great things, even if you do, as part of the signature program, take some of these classes, but let's say you want to do clubs and organizations and extracurriculars, we have so many opportunities outside the school day that can enrich the advanced classes that you would be taking through the signature program and other things of that nature. So think about this as not just within a school day, but also outside the school day, some of the activities, juntos we have, marching band, honors choir, honors bands, that you could also partake in. So PE is, everyone's taking PE. You guys have been taking it all 3 years while you're in middle school. You have a requirement in high school that you also have to take PE. You can take PE all 4 years. Feel free to do so. And sometimes highly encouraged that you have a class that allows you to get up and move the entire class period when you're sometimes restricted in your other classes. We have the opportunity now, when you come into high school, to specialize a little bit in your physical education course. You could take a comprehensive course, the lifetime sports, which you would sample all of the sports. Or you already know, I like soccer and I want to try out for the team, so I want to gain skills so that I can become part of the team. And you can actually register for a soccer class. Or you want to go into weight training. Or maybe you don't want to, have the hardcore sports and you want to take yoga. We have a lot of options within physical education that you can engage with in order to obtain the credit or your interests, okay? Obviously, you will also have your health credit. For you guys, it's going to be a full year, so you don't have to worry about pairing it with anything. But you also have the opportunity, as a 9th grader, to participate in any sport. So you are automatically eligible for your first year. We're going to talk a little bit about dates coming up, but also think about what you might want to do to be engaged. Because here at QO, you will see lots of red, white, and black. We are very strong in our pride of our school. You will have an opportunity later to win some swag, some QO swag. You also will, everyone, during orientation, will get their potentially first, class of 2028 t-shirt. You'll have other opportunities to get like a Red Army 2028 t-shirt, other ways to show your school pride. Because we here have a lot of it, and we pride ourselves in being engaged with one another, and we encourage you to find something to engage in. Ms. Lee was already talking a little bit about being engaged in a club or an organization or a sport, and it's so important to get engaged with those early. I know you already have friend groups here, you're already in your classes right now, but when you come here, you're going to engage with other students from other schools with other interests, and you can find those groups of people who have similar interests in order to make your experiences here at QO so much more fulfilling. I'm going to pass it now to Ms. Conter.
Thank you. Before I start, I'm going to introduce 2 more of our 10 counselors that have stopped by so that they can say hi to you all, and then they need to get back to scheduling our current students.
Hi everyone, my name is Nancy Jimenez and I am one of the counselors. I'm in the beginning of the alphabet, B, R, E, D O something.
How y'all doing? I'm Mr. Carter. I'm one of the other counselors. Oh, how you doing? Yeah, so you go way back. You go way back. But yeah, I'm one of the counselors. Nice to see everyone. I would say my alphabet, but I've been lying to you right now. I try to remember, but hope to see all you guys next year.
All right, our alpha changes like every year, so that's why we're all confused. So really the only thing I want you to pay attention to on this side, please, because it directly impacts you and getting the classes that you want to take next year. And that is the Google form that you're going to be shared with so that you can actually tell us what classes you want is due on the 2nd. So the Friday where we start second semester, that Friday, your form is due. If we don't have your form, we get to pick your schedule. And we don't know any of you yet. So if you want the classes that you want, that form has to be submitted before then. Okay? Decided. Okay, so when you get back to school, and I believe it's going to be blasted out as well, the Google form is already active for you. There's already some rising ninth graders that have already submitted it, but you're going to click on that form. What will happen is you will then select all the courses that you would like, and again, you don't have as much of an option as the upperclassmen do because you have to take all the prerequisites or like the first classes to get to those later ones. As you get older, more and more courses become available to you, and you'll notice that, okay? They will ask for specific information, so we are going to get in your business for a minute. We need to know your cell phone if you're willing to share, your email, because what happens is over the summer, because you're freshmen, unfortunately, your priority is not as high as, say, seniors who need certain courses to graduate. So if you tell us you want weight training and it's full because all the upperclassmen have taken it, we're going to reach out to you and say, what other classes do you want? Because we can't get you weight training. Okay? So we got to be able to get a hold of you. Can we call your families? Absolutely. But we would rather talk to you because you're now high schoolers. And now you need to own your educational path. Okay? So yes, we're going to get in your business, but we don't share with anyone. It's just so that we can reach you. So we can get you the class you want. The other things we're going to ask you for is, your math class. What math level are you in? If you want a language, what electives do you want to take, like art and PE and tech? We're going to ask you all those questions, okay? And again, it's because we don't know you other than a piece of paper, and that's not a fair judgment of you all, okay? We'll get to questions in a second, promise. If you have questions about what classes you want to take, you are more than welcome and encouraged to talk to your current teachers and or your counselor, because they can kind of guide you along those ways. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to us at any time. We'd be happy to answer them. We will ask you for something called an alternative, and again, it's for that reason. If you want weight training and it's full, we need to be able to get you into a class, okay? So give us the classes you are willing to take. Please understand, any class you list in that form, you could potentially sit in. So if you are not wanting anything to do with ceramics because you don't want to touch clay and ew, that's gross, then don't list it on your course request. Because there is a chance, because you are still young, you might get it, okay? And then the last thing I want to point out, and again, you'll have access to this, instead of like the old school books that the county used to spend money killing trees and printing out, we put all of our course information online. So if you have no idea what ceramics is and you're curious, you can go on there and you can actually read a description of the courses as well as see pictures of what they do in those courses. They have movies and everything else linked. So we highly encourage that you look into something that you don't understand what it is. Okay? All right, graduation requirements.
All right, so I'm going to go over some graduation requirements. I know that sounds like it's a faraway time for most of you because you're just starting as freshmen, but I do want to make sure that you have an understanding of what you need to graduate. In high school, you need 22 credits to graduate. Some of our students come in from middle school already with credits. How is that possible? If you took Algebra 1 in middle school, you might come in with that credit. If you took a language in middle school, you might come in with that credit. But in total, you need 22 credits to graduate. Each of your classes in the first semester, they're worth 0.5 and 0.5 in the second semester. So for example, all of you will come in and you'll be taking honors English 9, 9th grade English. You pass first semester, you get a 0.5 credit. You pass second semester, you get 0.5, so you get 1 credit for freshman year. Now the thing that most students don't realize and let's say all of you are taking honors biology next year. If you don't pass first semester and you don't get that credit, and you pass the second semester, you still owe. You still owe that biology A credit. So again, we have students who are failing and they're like, it's okay, I'll just pass second semester. No, you don't pass, then again, you don't get that credit, then you don't graduate. There are some classes, and I'm gonna go over it, that you have to have those credits for. In middle school, you go from 6th grade automatically to 7th grade, automatically to 8th grade. That is not the case in high school. If you do not have the credits, you will remain in 9th grade. What does that mean? Your ID card will say 9th grade, you'll be in the 9th grade homeroom again. It means that in the yearbook, you'll be placed in the section of the yearbook with the 9th graders. So you have to understand, if you don't have the credits, you don't move up to the next level, to the 10th grade. And I don't want you guys to be surprised when that happens. So please make sure that you understand credits are very important in high school. We talked about, you have 7 classes, and if you can pass all of your classes, you only get 7 credits freshman year. If you get 7 credits freshman year, 7 credits sophomore year, 7 credits junior year, you're already at 21 credits. And I told you, some of you guys come in with credits from middle school, so you might already have 22 credits. Well, that's when you choose all the different electives that you want to. You could take classes at MC if you'd like. You might take an AP class that you've been thinking about, so you have opportunities to do different things. I'm going to introduce Mr. Yarbrough right now really quickly. He is our senior administrator. Hold on.
Hello, class of 2028. I'm actually the 12th grade administrator, but we rotate. So next year I'll be your administrator. So I just wanted to say hello. I've already seen some folks in the cafeteria who I know their older siblings who are here. So hopefully, I don't know who else is in here, but I just want to say hey, that's all.
All right, in addition to credits, we also have state tests that you'll have to take, and you'll have one in math, you'll have one in social studies, you'll have one in science, and you'll have one in English. Okay, so you have 4 state tests. You'll also have to complete 75 SSL hours, and I know that many of you have already earned hours in middle school. So again, there are multiple requirements for graduation, and you will be receiving a 4-year plan. Your parents and you will be receiving a plan of all the different things that you need in your emails, and that's gonna probably come out today, this afternoon. We're gonna be sending that out to you, okay? This, again, this information, what are the 22 credits that you need? All of that information is here. You're going to need 4 years of English, 4 years of math, and all the other things listed. I'm not gonna have you memorize this, there's no quiz, but I told you before, these slides are shared with you, and you're gonna take the time to go and look at it. If you actually go back to this slide, if you click on it, it's a handout, and it'll tell you specifically, and you can print it out if you need to. All right, so 75 SSL hours. If you're looking for opportunities to volunteer in your community, if you click, there's a live link on this slide as well. And there are different places that you could volunteer and earn your SSL hours. We also have the 4 tests I talked about. There's some more information about the state tests. And starting this year, we have an end of course assessment, and that takes place in biology. And next year, you guys will also take it for NSL. For those 2 classes, you'll have a state assessment 2nd semester. And we'll talk about that more when you're a 9th grader here, but I did want to let you know that that was happening. And we're going to have our next few slides from Ms. Jackson.
All right, so we do want to remind you that attendance matters. You cannot learn it if you're not in class, and there's so much information in the short amount of time your teachers get to see you that we want to make sure that you're in class all the time. And just the first perspective, all right, there's 44 days in that first quarter. If you miss 5 days, you're more than 10% absent. And 10%, we found, and basically the research has been shown that that is found to be a significant amount of time for you to be away from class. So it doesn't take a lot for you to be away from class and for you to miss out on important instruction, okay? So please make sure that you go to class and go to class all the time, on time, as you come to high school. We have our athletic director here, if he wanted to introduce himself while we have a moment.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Raberman. I am the athletic director here. I just wanted to go over a couple things just because we get started in athletics well before the school year starts, so it's important that you know this information. A couple things are actually, our athletic website now is www.qoathletics.com. That has all the information that you need, forms, coach contact information, start dates, etc. So all of that information is there. There's this year's schedules up there, our coaches put rosters, etc. Fall sports registration, that will usually start somewhere around July 10th, July 11th. And then this fall season for 2024 starts on August 14th. You are expected to be at the first day of tryouts. It is a 6-day-a-week commitment, and you're expected to be there 6 days a week. It's not show up when you feel like it. You have to be there every day in order to be a part of the teams. Some of our teams do have cuts, others of our teams don't. Depends upon the number of students coming out. But if you plan on trying out for a sport, you need to be ready to go by August 14th. Your parents will register you through Parent View. You need a current physical. A physical, if you have it for middle school sports, it's good for 13 months from the date. So if you got your physical today, which is January 24th, 2024, it'll be good to February 24th, 2025. So physicals are good for 13 months. As 9th graders, you are eligible your entire 9th grade year. Once you get into 10th grade, you need to have a 2.0 and no more than 1E in order to be eligible. On there, you'll see the link to the contact information for all coaches and the start dates for all sports. We're on Twitter and Instagram at QO Athletics, so you can go there and get some information. We'll also have an incoming freshman night. I think it's June 8th, June 7th, something like that, but we'll get that information out to you. And that'll be time for you to come in, get to meet our coaches. We usually do it from 5 to 6 o'clock at night at the main gym. So look out for that. That'll be, I think, that second Monday in June. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you here this summer.
Once again, we have a lot of resources on here. We're about to close up so that you guys can go over to our electives fair. But we do care about you as a person, so we do have some well-being resources here for you to access. Definitely take a moment to check those out if you need them, or if you know of someone that you care about who might need some of these resources. We want you to be well until we see you and while you're here at QO. So definitely be here. We have wellness rooms, we have a Bridge to Wellness program. Our counselors are awesome, social workers, and different programs to support you as a whole. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew, and we gave you a lot of information, we know that. Again, you're gonna have this presentation, you're gonna have access to a recording. Get that Google form in by February 2nd so that you can get what you want. We are so excited to have you coming into our school. I hope you're excited too. We can't wait to welcome you for the 24-25 school year next year. But we are gonna allow you to check out the electives fair. So obviously you have few options because you have those core courses, but we want to let you know what either this year you can enroll in or in the upcoming years. So I'm going to lead you to the cafeteria. So when I go up the stairs, you guys can follow me through.